Do you guys even need me? You got the star CJ.
Wow.
I can just go now?
Not quite. We're not going to off that easy. Steve, you get off to a 2-goal start, and the building's rocking. It seems like you've kind of got all the momentum going in your way. Vancouver obviously makes the goalie change, and I don't know if it was that, but they start to build. What did you see, in those latter 2 periods where, it's back and forth in the third, and, the Serdagny goal seemed to be almost nail in the coffin before they obviously forced an overtime and
Well, I looked at Clayton, I said, this is long from over. That 5 minutes with them pushing like that, I knew it was going to be challenging to get to the very end. Yeah, it's we haven't done anything easy this year. There's been a lot of adversity to us, and I thought getting out to the 2-0 lead, them crawling back into it, again, we've come back many times throughout this year, and this was another one. I mean, we were down, could have folded the tents easy, and then we run out, and 2 lines go back to back there and get goals and get back in the lead and get the empty netter, and it's feeling good. And again, just luck of it. I know one of the goals there, like Brownie's on her backhand. If she's a right shot defenseman, that's up the ice, and it hits the linesman, turns over and goes the other way for one of them. And then just even the last 2 goals, that tip out of the air, slipped it on, but it happened. And then the last one off a skate, and I thought CJ battled all night long, made a lot of in-traffic saves for us, and yeah, it's tough. I know the group desperately wanted that for her tonight, right from coaches to the players.
You kind of talk about it there, both, even when we had Vancouver in here, they talked about it being a game of bounces. Just, how tough can it be to not get a start, and then you're thrown into this game, and things kind of get hectic there late where you're just trying to survive, it seems like, for your goaltender, that is.
Yeah, obviously, Charlotte's Murph, they've been through it, so you're a little bit calmer in it. I'm sure her heart was racing, looking at the clock, looking at, I think it was 13 seconds left with that face-off. You're like, just get it done. And again, it ricochet, we block one shot, goes right across to another player and fires at the net, and Miller's coming through there. And she didn't move, it hit her stick, and we know the size of shafts and blades. Again, the chances, millimeter here or there, it misses the net. It wasn't even going on the net, so those are the moments that we've seen. I've talked about it lots of just bounces. Even one of the goals there, Lindy steps up, they dive, and it can go either way. It goes their way, but out of this, we just continue to learn how to get better the rest of this year, and then what we need to do to be better for next season. It's continued learning.
And, you get the gold plan point, you got 2 tough opponents coming in. What do you take out of this, right? Because you get Anna Wilgren gets those 2 goals to kind of maybe get the monkey off her back. Kayla Barnes, I thought her goal was pretty impressive. Just what positives do you take from this, and what messaging do you take into Minnesota next?
Yeah, we may not be in this situation if Barnes had scored those goals earlier in the year. She's had so many looks like that, and now it's starting to happen for her. Like that one, she had those opportunities this year, and just either a bounce, a save, whatever it was. That's amazing. Anna's performance tonight was quite solid, and with those teams coming in, I've been here, like I said earlier, I've been on the winning side, I've been on sides where after you've won, there's not much left and it's a tough season, and this is one of them, and you have to finish off. They're paid as professionals, and we have 2 outstanding teams coming in here, and if you're not prepared to play, they can lay a hurting on you, and that's the message at the end of tonight, is that we still have 2 more practices in a game. They have to be purposeful, and we have to stick together and put our best foot forward against 2 really good teams, 2 different type of looking teams as well.
A game of wild momentum shifts, but I think one of the starkest was to start this game, your team was playing airtight defense. Airtight, and then they start getting some shots, they're a little bit more maybe perimeter, but then suddenly, the dam breaks and they start really pouring it on. Was it something that Vancouver was doing, kind of figuring you out, or was it lapse in energy from your side? That first shift in momentum, what would you attribute that to?
All those things are little things usually that add up. A lost draw, it starts to go that way. You don't get the puck all the way into the zone, whether that's just a bounce, whether that's, for the most part, like we talked at the end of the first, is just, again, making these hard plays. If you're not sure it's there, make sure it's hard. If you're pushing up on the defense, make sure you're hard and get that puck out. And that's where it starts to happen. It's just those little territorial moments where you lose that winger battle and it stays in the zone a little longer. Anytime you're not clean, that's when that stuff starts to happen, and you run around a little bit more and you're a little bit tired. That next line comes out, they got to start in the defensive zone. I mean, you want Carps, you want Dax's line to start in the offensive zone. If they have to start in that D zone, it's hard. Their top players are out there, so those little I talk about it as the NFL owning the line of scrimmage. It kind of just inches to your side of the field, and that's what they did. It wasn't anything big. We just didn't complete some plays. We talked about using the middle of the ice, and we missed some opportunities there that would have been cleaner for us, and we weren't as clean, and it just starts to build up, and you got to push back, and we did push back, but again, not enough tonight.
And then lastly, just the overtime. I know it's tough emotionally when the goal is scored that late in the third to kind of bring your energy back up for the overtime. I also know you don't get a lot of opportunity to practice 3-on-3. What improvements do you think that the team can make in the 3-on-3 play, and what kind of led to ultimately the loss today?
Yeah, that. Be honest, my gut said we were in trouble. That was deflating. Went 1.6, and it's hard to just immediately bounce back. I know they scraped the ice, but to bounce back, that's challenging. And the 3-on-3 side of it, it's really just about those decisions and possession. And we work on it in practice. But again, when there's three other really good players on the ice, it doesn't always go to plan. We won that first draw, and we ended up kind of bringing it too far back into the zone and didn't hit with speed and got in trouble, which led to the face-off, which led to the goal. So those moments there that I'm sure those three that were out there would make different decisions, and at that point, it ends up going off a skate and in the net.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.